I've been talking to a lot of clients lately, and Roth's been a big thing. You know, Roth. You know, Roth is the best because I think it's all over the news. People talk about Roth. Dave Ramsey's talk about Roth all the time. And Roth is good. There's nothing wrong with Roth. It is good. But I always get concerned when you're talking 20 years from now, 30 years from now. Like the rules today, and we're talking about this spending bill and how different things are now than 10 years ago. You know, the rules today are not going to be the rules in 20 years. They're just not. Doesn't mean that there's not going to be tax and there's not going to be some basic things that are similar. But if you think you're going to put all your money in Roth, and I could be wrong, but I'm going to throw this out. If you think you're going to put all your money in Roth and you're going to be very wealthy and you're going to pay no tax and you got another 20, 30 years, I would say you're completely off because there's going to be, they always need money. They're already analyzing our healthcare benefits.
Well, so part of this bill is no tax on Social Security, right? So that's already been essentially shelved. They're talking about an extra tax deduction for seniors, probably defined as 65 plus, of $4,000. You're going to get an extra tax deduction because you're 65 or older of $4,000, and that's supposed to offset some of the tax that you pay on Social Security. There was a time when Social Security was not taxed.
Correct.
And then 50% of it was taxed.
Correct.
And then for
85%.
most of our clients, 85% is now taxable. Yep. And you know, so they throw. But to your point, yeah, as Roth gets bigger and bigger, $1 trillion, $2 trillion, $17 trillion, $30 trillion in Roth, and I've said this for years and years, you tell a Congress that that's untouchable. You can't touch the Roth, and they go, who owns all this Roth? Oh, the wealthy people. Well,
we can touch it.
Maybe we can touch it a little bit. We'll touch it here and we'll touch it there, and it's a slippery slope.
The only reason they don't touch Social Security and Medicare is because that's so universal.
But they do. But my point is, they do touch it. They do touch it, meaning they tax it now.
Oh, right. But that's a lot more under the carpet for most people. They don't see that as much as if they said they were going to cut their benefits.
But that's the touching that will happen with Roth.
Oh, no question. Same thing.
My only counter to that too, though, is you look at, like you talked about, Social Security benefits and other things that have been changed, but it's also not like retroactive. It's changed for going forward.
The future.
So that's right. The future. So those with those Roth balances, the fact that they're going to go and undo that, I don't see it. Plus, they already have the inheritance part of the Roth.
No, not undo it. I think it'll be something more like if your income is over X, then maybe you get taxed 10% of the gains on your Roth. It'll be some little listen, all the taxes are nickel and dime taxes. They're never going to come in with.
Well, they start that way.
They start that way, right? It's always Obamacare tax, 3.8%. It's Social Security tax. It's disability tax, state disability taxes. They're all small. But my point on this, and this is arbitrary. We can argue it forever, but they're never going to go back 20 years and go, when you made that contribution, you deducted it. You can't deduct that. We're going to go ahead and get that back. But in the future, the rules are going to change. And if you have balances, again, we're not trying to freak people out about having Roth. I think it's a good thing. But I don't think that you should put all your eggs in that basket thinking, if I just get all my money in here, in 30 years, I'll never pay tax again. Like, that's probably not accurate.
Yeah. Today, you can get away with it.
Today, you could.
Today, if you're in distribution phase and you have all your money, you get millions of dollars in Roth, you're fortunate. You're going to be a good spot. But I think you're right. And as those targets just get bigger, it's easy picking, I think, for Congress 10 years from now to just go, yeah, we're going to have to go back and revisit this and just make it to where on distribution, when you start distributing money, if your taxable income is over $400,000, then your distributions are going to be taxed at 15% or whatever the number is.
It's not hard. You just have to follow the patterns. Like I said, healthcare, they're already collecting healthcare premiums. Not doing anything with it.
Information.
On it. Just information.
Yeah.
And then the people that, have, quote, Cadillac plans, according to their definition, probably someday, maybe soon, maybe later, will end up paying some tax on those plans. So, again, I'm not saying that I don't like it, but it is what it is. And we're trying to help people now.
And the way you pay tax, in that example, the way you pay taxes, it's just not deductible anymore.
Correct.
Because right now, companies deduct your premiums. Yeah, and they're 100% deductible, whether it's $1,000 a month or $3,000 a month, 100%. Well, maybe for these plans, it's less deductible.
Less deductible.
Yeah, so,
100%.
Yeah, we'll see. You want to know a couple other things that are kind of interesting?
Yeah.
Car loans. They're talking about car loan interest being deductible.
I heard
going
that.
forward
Wow.
for the next 5 years.
Thanks,
As long as you purchase between January 1st of 25
phase out.
and phase out's at $200,000. 200,000. So and it's capped at 10 grand. Which is nowadays
Can't finance your Lamborghini and write it all off.
I don't
So you
think
can get
you'll be able
so you
to.
can get a fiat.
Well, I'm sorry, capped at $10,000 of interest per year.
Okay.
So that's a decent sized number.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's qualified passenger vehicles. So again, make a little definition for what's qualified and what's non-qualified, and again, does it have to be domestic? These are things that they may fold in there. Well, only on a U.S. car. If you buy an Isuzu or you buy a Subaru,
Honda,
you can't deduct it, or it has to be manufactured in the United States. Again, back to the
Assembled, manufactured.
Yeah, exactly.
That would change a few
Assembled.
conversations I've had just in the last 3 weeks. I don't know if you guys have, but I've had the calls where I'm purchasing a new vehicle. Should I pay cash or should I finance it?
Yep.
Or should I lease it? Going through those conversations because for at least 15 years, you always financed it because the rate was 0.
Yeah.
Or 1 or whatever.
So what are you
now,
seeing?
So now it really depends. It's a one-off case depending upon the client, right? Because if they're able to finance, typical rates right now are somewhere between 5 and 8, let's say.
Yep.
And if their money is invested in a quote balanced portfolio, that's kind of in the targeted range of what we're shooting for.
Yeah.
And so it really depends on their liquidity. It depends on their cash. It depends on everything, right?
What have your answers been these last couple of weeks, though?
Well, the last one, it was a gentleman that had inherited some money. Long story, really short, but his scenario was to pay cash because he was invested very conservatively, mostly in a bond style portfolio with a little bit of stock, and his finance rate was going to be $4.95. I'm like, it's a wash.
Correct.
It's a wash. So let's look at your liquidity. Do you mind carrying the payment? Would you rather not? Older gentleman didn't want to deal with it. I'm like, just write a check.
Yeah. I'll say the one thing, though, too, is that everybody thinks rates have gone up, right? Because we've seen that with the Fed, and you assume you hear the rates online or commercials for car rates, But a lot of these dealerships still, with good credit, if you keep your loan to 3 years or less, you're getting 0.9.
Yep.
On certain makes and models.
Right.
For sure.
So, I mean, like, for example, GMC, 0.9 for 3 years.
But
so
you got to
in
be
that
able to
case-
afford the payment. That's
Right.
the thing, yeah.
But if you're paying cash as your alternative, you could probably afford the
You
payment.
can afford the payment. Yeah.
So my point is, depending on the scenario, again, if your goal is to finance it for 6 years, 7 years, 8 years at 5%, that's I agree. It doesn't
not a
make
good
sense.
strategy.
But if you can still find the lower rates for a shorter period of time,
So
then it
summary
makes sense.
here too is ask us. I mean, these are the things we
For
these are
sure.
the things
Run
we
the
talk
scenario
about.
by.
Like, if you can find a 0% or 0.9 for 3 years and you can afford the payments, again, it doesn't deplete all your cash, you have it available. Why wouldn't you basically pay nothing? You're borrowing money for free. You either put it all in or you earn, let's just say you earn money market rates at the very lowest, right? You earn 4% and you pay 0.9. That's a 3% win.
well, and like we've said a lot lately, right? Shop your cash or shop your rates. I mean, a lot of people are running to ECU to get their auto loan because it's historically been cheaper than, say, the dealership, and now all of a sudden they're not giving you 0.9, but the dealership might. So
Well, because the dealership's got to move.
Got to move
Got
cars.
to move vehicles. They got to get them sold. So we had a client yesterday that bought at 0.9%. So she's financed for 3 years, 0.9%. Much better, much better. So she'll just pay out of her regular IRA distributions, kick them up a little bit, and she'll pay for the truck. So it's pretty good.
That was a good conversation.